If your party is defeated, the game ends. Your save is lost and you must start again. Expert mode disables a number of helper features in the game. Players who want to rely on their own faculties and intuition while playing the game should play expert mode. I don't remember if I used that last time. Play normal. H's and difficulties. How come it doesn't show you the... Oh, that's cool that you can write notes. Okay. That's a nice feature, Steam. That's a really nice feature. Like, I didn't know they have that added. That's really cool. Where is the community? No, not community hub. Come on now, Steve. If I hit exit, then I don't want that screen. Just hit go back. You can't do a search. Okay. that seems to be something that they should be available here. Well, how come you can't do a search in a discussion? Wow. That's really silly. If this is going to be the default overlay for Steam, then some of those functionalities need to be here. You can't do a search here, huh? Wow. That sucks. Okay. You know what? We'll just have it turned on because these people don't even explain really what it does.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might.
So loud.
Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You are among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Well, depending on the sex that you select, you have a different. I played as a male, I think, last time. In the Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the laws of the Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of the Tiers, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in the Tiers always passes to eldest daughters or sisters. Click for details. Look how long this is. Kairos is a name out of legend. For centuries, the Overlord has consolidated power, sending vast armies to swallow entire realms. The most powerful mystic the world has ever seen, Kairos can issue edicts, magical proclamations that level cities, spread pox, sunder the lands, or change the course of seasons. The Archons, the masters of magic throughout the known world, bow to Kairos, and the Overlord readily destroys any Archons unwilling to kneel. These sorceresses and madmen lead the Overlord's armies in near endless conquest. As the realms of the known world fall to the Overlord, these captured territories are divvied up amongst the Archons to manage, able to deliver suffering and woe to every corner of Tyranny without leaving the capital. Few have seen the Overlord in person, though Kairos' name is the single most recognized name in the world. Only the Archons can say what the Overlord looks like. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work Lands to work. What? Those without a profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty archons. Criminals, derelics, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the archons. If a child cannot forge his own skin, he will certainly find one in battle. The art style is actually very good. I think this is the portrait that I used before. I remember this face. I think that was the only one I think that looks decent. Let me just look at my options here. There's a DLC that has more portraits, but I'm not sure. And it's like $4. I'm not sure about the new portraits. And I like that it's still it's like the female portraits. Yeah, I mean a lot of these. It's all females here, right? Yeah. It's always this, but it looks a little weird. I don't think you can change the face. Oh, you can. I don't think there's a face that's similar to that. That's the problem. You have like an oriental face here on the portrait, but then there's no oriental looking face down here. So I don't know how that works. See, that's the problem. You can't really choose this because you don't have a face to match. Maybe this one a little bit. But this is too bushy. I'm surprised that I chose this the last time. This is like too bushy. I would never choose that. Maybe because in 1080p it doesn't look as clear as I thought it was just short beard or something. Well-trimmed beard, but it's actually kind of long if you look at that. See, it's disgusting. All right, let me see. Maybe we have to select a female character this time around. We can always hide our face. See, and this guy is pretty thin as well, so it doesn't really match. This one is good, but it's, you know, the face is not very attractive. They got better options actually as a female character, it seems like. Like, this is very good. You know that she's a total bitch.
That wasn't so hard. On the lookout. On it. See that? To battle! Good work! This will be fun. Got it.
Ugh. This one is, I guess, generic enough. I guess it also depends on your class. I don't even remember what kind of character I played before, class-wise. The hands look weird in this one. Yeah, I just wish that it, I don't know. Yeah, these options are not good. They are not good. Why are you showing off those rings? We would have to select a female character. Some of these are pretty cool looking. Even that one actually is nice. Yeah, the guys are just derpy. That one's sexy. Shakshay. No, it's stubble, of course. I don't think this game has stubble. Stubble should be mandatory in every single game. I don't get why people grow facial hair. Alright. How did you join Kairos' army? Noble scion. Born to noble parents, you were groomed for leadership. Your youth spent on letters, history, rhetoric, and other matters of culture and statecraft. Though you had wealth and creature comforts, you were expected to grow up quickly and bear the honor of shepherding others through prosperity and war. When your parents came under accusation of sedition, you were sent to the court of Tunon, Archon of Justice, to defend your family's actions. Tunon, the adjudicator, is the Archon of Justice, ruler of the conquered realms and arbiter of disputes. Oldest of the Archons, sent to conquer the Tiers, Tunon speaks with Kairos' authority. His true appearance remains hidden behind an iron mask, the face of judgment. Tunon is an impartial, sober creature, wholly obsessed with justice and order. Though assumed to be a powerful combatant, Tunon rarely strays from his throne room, entrusting his court of fate binders to act as his eyes and ears, as well as judges, juries, and executioner. Your parents were found guilty. Their sentence, the dissolution of the treasonous estate, eloquently pleading your own ignorance on your family's actions. You negotiated your most important deal yet, immunity from the crimes of your family for the simple cost of swearing fealty to the Archon himself. Despite the unwilling induction, your education and savvy made you a valuable addition to the Archon's cadre of enforcers. As long as you remain in good standing, your family just might be allowed to live. It's a cute story, I guess. Though they would never tell you why, Kairos bestowed great wealth upon your family for some unmentioned service. And your parents used this wealth to have you raised from far from home. Your childhood was nomadic tour of terratas with hired tutors and fleeting friendships. Where others had stability and routine, you had a whirly and varied education. A careless word in a far-flung city landed you in legal trouble. I don't know. I don't like that story. Okay. I mean, if you know that you're under like an iron thumb, why would you do that? So doesn't sound good to me. War mage, lawbreaker. What is this? Accused of a crime you most certainly did commit. He stood before Tunon, the adjudicator. Argued your case with eloquence and conviction. I'm not no criminal. But you will become one in this game. And savor it too. Unable to settle the year's accounts with grain your parents offered you as a tithe to the overlord. I don't know about that. Pit fighter not wishing to pay. I think noble scion sounds pretty good. So this is like you live in the wilds, and then this favorite came and okay. Disciplined and battle hardened, the disfavored are an elite legion in Kairos' army. They spearheaded the conquest of the younger realms, finding themselves always outnumbered, but never outclassed. Led by the steadfast and dutiful Graven Ash, whom they follow with obsessive devotion. They are committed to imposing their interpretation of order upon the relative lawlessness of the tiers. The Legion only tolerates northerners in their ranks, priding themselves on their high standards and cultural purity. I don't like the hunter one. Let's see. Guild Apprentice. Deeply proud of your intelligence, your parents always knew you were too smart for a life spent with your hands in the soil. Looking to secure a better future, your parents struck a bargain with the 7-3 Guild, a small magical order willing to teach you letters, numbers, and magic if you proved capable. For several years, you learned much from the mages, mastering reading and writing faster than the rest, and eventually learned the basics of mystic theory and spellcraft. Your magical studies came to an abrupt halt when the voices of Nerat, Archons of Secrets, deemed the guilds a peacetime distraction that must be disbanded for the upcoming war. Its mages. This is a mage thing. Known in his official capacity as the Archon of Secrets, the voices of Nerat is equal parts genius and madman. Rumors abound that he can steal the minds of others, though few, if any, are alive to confirm as such. The subjects of his interrogation are never heard from again, and the Archon is able to recall the memories of his victims with startling accuracy. He is the inconsistent leader of the Scarlet Chorus, vacillating between commanding the vanguard and directing his armies in absentia. Despite his strange methods, no one doubts that the voices in Nerat is an accomplished strategist, even suggesting that his madness stems from thinking hundreds, perhaps thousands of steps ahead of his enemies. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. We'll go with Noble Scion. How about that? You were trained in the following combat style. Wielding a javelin is a good compromise between melee and range. Thrown weapons deal more damage than bows, but cannot attack from far away. I also have benefit of being able to switch within range and melee attack depending on the enemy's distance. Ooh. Ooh. It looks kind of hot. I don't look like this. Here we go with this one. Shaq Shay. That looks Shaq Shay. That armor is so Shaq Shay. great sword. Which picture did I choose? That one. Okay, that matches. That, you know, I guess. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cute too. Shock spell. Oh, look at this. I think the last time I was a mage, huh? I mean, I don't remember. Vigor spell. Problem with this is, I think you get a companion immediately at the beginning, so I guess it's fine. I'd say dual wielding. Maybe I did dual wielding before because the guy, that picture that I chose, yeah, he was dual wielding. I think that's what I picked before. So I don't know. This baby shield, I don't like that. Let's look at the picture that we chose. He has a shield for damn sure. So we do need something with a shield. So maybe we just do sword and shield. Just something simple. Wielding a weapon and shield puts you in the front line of combat, standing between your enemies and allies. Holding a shield will slow down your attack rate slightly, but give you a good defensive bonus. Yeah, let's take that. Shield slam. Slam the shield against the target, dazing them for moderate duration. Sunder. Deliver a powerful overhead attack that reduces target's armor. I think we'll go Sunder, because we're a bastard like that. Okay. Secondary expertise. Oh, okay. So you dual class in this game. Oh, that's interesting. So I would say let's go with Vigor spell. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Or you can do both. No, hold on. Bronze sword. You can. Oh no. Oh no. You can do both. Get the same bonus, or what's the deal? 8 one-handed. Hold on. You can, and it increases your stats, so you don't have to oh no, that's spear. Hold on. No, sword and shield, spear and shield. Oh, instead of sword and spear. Okay. So if you pick javelin here, what happens to the next one? Let's pretend that we pick this. Oh, you can't. I see. Hold on. You can. It just improves your 8 one-handed. Yeah, it just improves. Yeah, if you don't want a secondary, it's just gonna improve your stats. If you want the same thing. Because isn't that better than like having to switch? Unless you don't have to switch. I don't know how this works. I think the abilities you can just well, does it say require? Yeah, it does. Valid weapons, bows, thrown weapons. And then here, this doesn't say that you need to actually use a certain weapon. So maybe we'll do vigor. Let's just do that. Spear and shield. No, I don't want spear and shield. It's sword and shield. And then vigor. Okay. Okay. But then you get +1 magic staff. Do I want a plus? Yeah, I mean it becomes. It's useful, but eventually you'll have a mage and stuff, right? So maybe that's the thing. Yeah, let's just do spear and shield, and then we'll just increase our stats. Yeah, athletic parry. Athletics 4, now athletic becomes 6. Parry from 5. It's still 5 parry. Is it plus on top of? No. One-handed weapons, 8 plus 8. One-handed. It's just +2. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do this. Character color. Okay, well, we have to match this. So it's like what? Red or something. Seems like red and black. Just red. Shy. This needs to be red though. Shy. Okay, that's fine. Random customization. Isn't there like a crazy looking? We need a one that looks crazy. A noose. Okay. That's too crazy. That one's good. That one looks nice. Or this one, I guess. I know, it's too generic, I think. That's the problem. So I think we go with our first instinct here. Just go with this one. Maybe block there somewhere. There we go. Quickness, vitality. We'll have some vitality, please. There we go. some resolve. Oh? That's easy. Okay. Okay. Conquest. How do you want to continue? Selecting the Conquest option will allow you to play through Kairos' Conquest of the Tears. Choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over the starting state of the game and how other factions will react to your character. Selecting Quick Quack Start option will bypass the conquest phase of character creation. Select from a list of available templates of your character was involved in Kairos' conquest. Let's go with the detailed rise of Chadius Maximus. Oh yeah, they ask you options and stuff like that.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Okay, during the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. 428 TR, the year one of Kairos' conquest. It's cute. The bastard city stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tears. Named for its position between two realms, the Northern Empire and the Southern Tears, the Bastard City and its surrounding lands, known as the Bastard Tier, is a melting pot of cultures and a place of commerce and intrigue. The Tearsmen of the South view the Bastard City as a place of wealth and access. But to the people of the Northern Empire, the Bastard City is little more than a sprawling slum. Tunon, the Adjudicator, establishes his court in the Bastard City. From this foothold in the Tears, he and his court of fate binders impose Kairos' laws upon the conquered land. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tears. Kairos will be insurmountable. Now the lore pop-up here is like what happens after the conquest, though. Alright, right here. So this is like, I guess it's saying Tunon, the Adjudicator, is already here, but this is before that. Select a token on the map to begin. Okay. In the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' armies crossed the mountains and established a foothold. Both armies have sent their forces to prepare the way. What? Okay. The armies of Kairos took the battle to the gates of judgment. Okay, hold on. History would remember the gates of judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. We already read the disfavored. We haven't read the Scarlet Chorus. It's little more than a gang of thugs and their captive slaves. Rather than organized under commissioned officers, the chorus follow a hierarchy seemingly ruled by whoever has the bravado to command and defend their positions. At the head of this chaotic pecking order, the Archon of Secrets, better known as the Voices of Narat, treats the Scarlet Chorus as his personal army. The Scarlet Chorus often suffers tremendous losses at the battle, only to swell in the aftermath when captured enemies and collateral prisoners are given the cruel opportunity to join or die. Which army did you join? Well, I would join the disfavored. The Scarlet Chorus is actually pretty fun, but and all the craziness, but we will aid the scouts. Because of our background and stuff, you know. So you lent your skills to the elite disfavored scouts to capture a border garrison. Ravanash insisted that an early victory in the offensive would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the haughty overconfidence of the Southerner. They'd already read about the last of the great northern generals to stand against the overlord in ages past. Archon Graven Ash now serves Kairos as supreme commander of the disfavored legion and is charged with conquering the tiers. The funny thing is, didn't they say that they tolerate northerners in their ranks, but the leader is a northerner. Graven Ash shares a powerful bond with the soldiers under his command and regards each of them as family. The death of a soldier at enemy hands represents a grievous loss to the old general, who bears the burden of his love with mournful stoicism. Right? Isn't that they said that the Legion only tolerates northerners in their ranks, priding themselves at this standard and cultural purity. Yeah, why would they say the Legion only tolerates northerners in their ranks? Graven Ash is a northerner. Maybe because he never regards himself as a northerner. Or maybe it's more of a, I don't know. The last of the great northern general to stand against the overlord. So he was even fighting the overlord back then. Okay, you know what? We'll just let that one play out. The Oathbound Scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated in an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinions on this strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheering of disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. Wait. Oh. Okay. You have to choose one or the other? Okay. I thought maybe you choose both. The bastard city resident fire mages threatened the first leg of the conquest. Kairos' forces put a stop to their unchecked power. You find an ally within the city to prepare your way to the approaching armies. Your fiercest opponent in the bastard city were the mages of the school of wild wrath, too barbaric to use their power responsibly. The unbridled practitioners need to be stopped. How did you trick the hot-tempered mages into their own undoing? Yeah, this is more fun. Lure them to a disfavored ambush, a meeting with the voices Narad. Well, if they're barbaric, maybe voices Narad should handle that, right? You trick the guild elders into meeting the voices in Narad, Archon of Secrets. The Archon was notorious for his cruel and mysterious interrogation techniques. The mages were never seen again. Let's do that. Because they're too barbaric, then they deserve a barbaric retaliation. There were few who could describe what horrors the Archon of Secrets visited upon his enemies during the conquest. Whether the elder mages knew little of the Archon's reputation or met him out of curiosity didn't matter. Once the flap of the Archon's tent closed, none of them were heard from again, save from a strangled cry of alarm that ended just as swiftly. Leaderless, the school of wild wrath fell into disorder, and their remaining members were slain by the disfavored or conscripted by the Scarlet Chorus. Your tactics of infiltration place you in the bastard city ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city defenses for the arrival of Kairos' forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the bastard city? Duel the city marshal, incite a riot, spread fear through assassination. Oh, Warrior's Respite. That's pretty good. You challenge the commander of the bastard city's defenses to an honorable fight to the death. The disfavored wishes to spare soldiers' life for the battles ahead and civilian lives for occupation. You converted the poor and disaffected into the hidden army of the Scarlet Chorus. Once the dust settled, the army wished to bolster their troops with the sleeper cells. You get mage ability. Concealing shadow, plus 100% graze deflection for 12 seconds. But you have minus 100 accuracy, 200 dodge, 200 parry. This one is pretty good too. 1 per encounter, that's not bad. This one is also 1 per encounter? Yeah, they're all 1 per encounter, okay. Except for the mage fighter. Alright. Keeping to the shadows, you eliminated the leaders of the bastard city one by one. What does the other one do? Minus 50% damage, plus 15 health. Oh, it also has healing. If it has healing, I think that's good. Let's go with this one. The city marshal was an old but experienced fighter, and his value to the guard was an accepted truth. After making guarantees for your protection, you met him in the square of the market district and fought in the view of tense onlookers. The battle drew on longer than you thought possible. Good fortune struck when an ornamental chain hanging from the marshal's armor snagged the kiln of his sword, granting you the opportunity to end his life swiftly. That's kind of fucked up. So he didn't even lose because he couldn't win because he was old or whatever, because of some bad luck. Kairos' forces celebrated your return to camp and the dissolution of enemy morale. All agreed that the bastard city was poised to crumble. The bastard cities settled into a new state of normalcy, with every tower displacing Kairos' banner. Your name was whispered along Alongside rumors of a decorated career to come, the armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent words that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethean's Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. Lethean's Crossing, built in the shadow of the Old Walls Junction in the realm of Haven, Lethean's Crossing is a growing trading settlement. The nearby rivers are rich in iron ore, though the locals lack the technology to smelt and forge the element. In the years following Kairos' conquest of the Tiers, the population of Lethean's Crossing swelled with refugees fleeing the destruction of their homelands. The presence of the forge-bound mining the iron, along with the guards, makes this makeshift settlement a vital resource for Kairos' armies. Okay, so judge and overseer of the settlement. That sounds like fun, right? But I think that's what I did before. The troops in the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of the valley, biding their time as neighbors in Bastard Tier fell. In the second year of war, a joint force of the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the Tier's central valley. Let's do War Advisor this time. Because if we want, I guess we want to kind of justify it. Because as much as you want to just settle, you want to help the army grow. You want to conquer the Tiers, so let's go with that Apex. The mountain nation of Apex, ruled for generations by the queens of House Vendrian, stood at the heart of the Tiers. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flank exposed to attack. By the second year of the war, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus had pushed deep into the Tiers. Elements of both armies were dispatched to conquer Apex. Tunon assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both armies. The Battle of Edgering Pass. The disfavored sent their most destructive ally to crush Edgering Fort. Cairn, Archon of Stone, buried the stronghold under the avalanche triggered from the surrounding mountains. The Scarlet Chorus were promised captured enemies for recruitment, yet none survived the onslaught. The Chorus demanded compensation. As tall as the hills, Cairn is the Archon of Stone, master of earth and soil, destroyer of mountains and cities. Cairn is a reluctant leader of the Earthshaker Guild, though he is less their teacher and more their object of study. The massive Archon is sworn to Graven Ash and provides arcane support to the disfavored Warfaver. Okay, let's hold up on this one. Denial of Strength. A school of water mages loyal to the Tiersmen pose a substantial threat. The disfavored wished to annihilate the school, while the Scarlet Chorus insisted on capturing their mages, wishing to learn their craft. Well, if it's gonna help us, then, maybe it's a good idea. You having the youngest disfavored scouts join the chorus to settle the debt. That's horrible. We'll do this one. If they say they have a use for the mages, why are we just destroying it though? Because it's gonna help us in the end. Though countless lives were lost, taking the mages into custody, the Scarlet Chorus praised your name as they dragged the beaten elders of the school to the voices in the rats' tent. As a wave of screams and incoherent pleas reached their crescendo, the Scarlet Chorus soldiers outside cheered for their Archon. The disfavored adjourned to their camp in grim silence, claiming the chorus lacked the will and desire to fully wipe out all traces of the enemy school. Yeah, because they were trying to learn it, so it's okay. When Kairos' forces captured the celebrated enemy hero, the armies bickered over his fate. The disfavored wanted him set free to convince his peers of Kairos' mercy, but Kairos has no mercy. The Scarlet Chorus wanted him flayed and staked as an example. Oh, this is crazy stuff. Hoping to break the siege, Scarlet Chorus agents poisoned the Apex water supply in secret. Days later, uninformed, the favored scouts died of illness, outraged by the failure of communication. The disfavored demanded that Chorus agents be turned over for them for punishment. I think I'd rather do this one. And he's a celebrated enemy hero. Do whatever you want to his dick. You executed the captain and had his remains fashioned into a terrifying display. Fear was the Scarlet Chorus's most compelling weapon, and you knew that its impact would resonate across the Apex army. Cut off his dick and they put it in his mouth. Yes, go for it. Against the better wishes of tradition. What? Was there some kind of tradition against celebrated heroes in this thing? Why didn't you guys? They should have put that in the description before. Per tradition, we have to show that Kairos has some mercy, and we would release like someone who showcased great strength during the battle or something like that. They should have put something in the previous text so that you can put that into consideration. But okay, against the better wishes of tradition, mercy, or even good taste. Well, I have none of those in this game. You had the enemy captain drawn and quartered by a team of enthusiastic Scarlet Chorus butchers. Oh God. Once the prisoner was disassembled, the butchers took great pleasure in reassembling his parts with stitching, cloth, and wooden poles, fashioning a crude totem of disorder. They mounted him in a hillside where the warning of grim spectacle haunted all who passed. Days of watching their captain's body rot in the sun weakened the resolve of the Apex defenders. They reached out to Kairos' forces and sued for peace, hesitant that such an arrangement would be honored given the brutality of your conquest. How did you orchestrate the surrender of the army? Oh, this is just... Don't do that to me. I'm evil in this game. Through days of mediation, you negotiated the surrender of the valley to Kairos' forces, putting an end to further bloodshed. Taunting the Queen of Apex into striking you under a banner of truce, you baited the Queen Apex into a duel and slew her, frightening her. Yeah, let's do that. Because they didn't even say anything about the Queen here. Yeah, let's duel another one. Sure. The Scarlet Chorus urged you to show the Overlord's strength by any means necessary. During peace talks, a well-placed insult goaded the Queen of Apex into striking you. You responded to the slight by challenging her to a duel. Though the Queen was skilled in battle, your field experience outmatched her court training. As her body lay cooling on the ground, you demanded that her followers kneel before the Overlord's banner. Unable to rise above the fear of the moment, the remaining leaders capitulated, surrendering the valley to Kairos' forces. That's good. That's a really good story, by the way. Couple of more? Okay. The land of Apex finally rested in the hands of Kyros's forces. The Scarlet Corps paused to revel in the victory while the disfavored prepared for the next fight, affording themselves but an evening's rest. Kyros's army radiated out from the conquered citadel and worked their way across the tiers. The disfavored and Scarlet Corps aimed to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming year. Your distinguished reputation in Kyros's military left the choice of your next destination yours to make. Kyros's conquering gaze fell upon the Vellum citadel, its treasures, knowledge, its secrets. With an easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in the tiers. Kyros dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Yeah, there's I think there was this map. See, I've never finished the game, and I never finished this game, and I have 45 hours put into it. And I remember there was a region that was just being besieged by by some kind of storm, like a forever storm. Is this it? I wonder, because the Archon of Stone is being sent here. But I like Stalwart. If that's the most formidable, then we need to show that we can even, take care of that. I think I want Stalwart. The realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army, disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. Skill and resolve made Stalwart a military power that Kyros forces approach with due caution. With its sudden position, Stalwart had been largely safe from war, watching for 2 years as its neighbors fell to Kyros's forces. On the dawn of the third year of war, Kyros's forces were finally poised to invade the Stalwart Peninsula and subdue the tier's most vaunted army. Contentious stepped back, marching on empty. The Stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the Scarlet Corps mob raided from the disfavored well-maintained supply lines, incurring casualties on both sides. These guys are crazy. Be spiked for their affront. Yeah, I would love to do that. The thieves each lost a hand for their treachery. Oh, you cut off their hands. Okay, hold on, let's see. After a defeat at the hand of enemy defenders, the Scarlet Corps accused the disfavored of recklessness. The disfavored claimed the Scarlet Corps brought too few enemy soldiers to cover their flank. Okay, I like this one, it's more juicy. And I want to kill him, because you don't do that to your own forces, Yes. Order the thieving Scarlet Corps soldiers be spiked for their affront. Yes. Even in a time of war, there was no excuse for allied armies to battle each other in violation of Kyros's peace. The disfavored rightly argued that they had only enough supplies to feed their troops. The Scarlet Corps needed to better look after their own people. Agreeing with their assessment, you had the offenders staked outside of the Scarlet Corps camp, left to send the message that hunger was no shield from justice. Yes. The Beasts of Stalwart. Scarlet Corps majors discovered a spell to turn beastmen slaves against their handlers. The army prepared to deploy this tactic elsewhere, but the disfavored protested. The use of unsanctioned magical practices ran contrary to Kyros's war. See, this is what I want to hear, before I made the decision before the previous city. It's like when something is against what Kairos is saying is supposed to, instructions, I need to know about it. And Beastman were considered too erratic. Okay, so like in this situation, I would of course say I would favor the disfavor, because as evil as you you want to be in this game, you're still serving Kairos, you know. Let's look at the other option. Better dead than red. Rather than submit to Scarlet Chorus conscription, conquered locals began committing suicide. This game is very bleak. Desperate to aid, or in like popular YouTubers, they would say, "Oh, yeah, committing unaliving." Okay. Desperate to add more bodies to the horde, the Scarlet Chorus demanded a portion of disfavored prisoners. What? Oh. The disfavored denied the right of recruitment as the realm's population had taken a steep decline. Yeah, if this is our prisoner, you know, I mean, I don't know about that. You know, it is their way of expanding, you know. But I'm not gonna say. I don't want them to take this favorite prisoner. So we'll handle the other crisis, I think, and just favor the disfavored. You agree with the disfavored argument and ordered the beastman slain. The Scarlet Chorus mages who discovered the trick were ordered to never use it again on pain of execution. Yeah, if this is Kairos' war and Kairos law, and Kairos said don't use this magic, that's not okay. The Scarlet Chorus argued that their tactics were suppressed by the disfavored's rigid sense of ethics, which didn't apply to their side in the military campaign. You listened to these complaints with interest, wondering if they suggested some greater flaw in the conquest, but stood by your decision. The disfavored took the more orderly approach. Kairos' peace meant nothing without order. The Edict of Storms. The disfavored carved a slow, steady path into the heart of Stalwart and surrounded the enemy's massive fortress. With the main bulk of their forces defeated, the enemy leadership retreated to their mighty fortress, content to wait out the war. The Overlord answered this impudence with an Edict of Storms on the peninsula. A devastating... Yeah, see, I mean, this is... I guess it doesn't matter. So if you go to the other location, that's not where... So it was actually the Edict. It's not the Archon of Storm or Archon of... What was it called? The Archon of Stone wasn't the one that created the Perpetual Storm. So that was an Edict. Kairos' most powerful magic is that of an edict. Commandments cast upon whole regions that can control and destroy man and nature alike. Once cast, an edict can rain fire, wither crops, demoralize cities, usher in endless night, or do whatever it is that Kairos envisioned. No known force, magical or mundane, can stop an edict, though each edict is often worded to include some condition or contingency that will see its end. Some edicts have been short-lived, delivering days of wanton catastrophe, just as many have lingered for centuries. Yoshi. A devastating spell that would endure for as long as the cowardly hearts of stalwart leaders persisted in beating. Knowing you had the trust of Graven Ash, Tunon deemed you the proper representative to deliver Kairos' edict. Aside from being given a 3-day window to read the edict, you received no other instructions. Agreeing with the wishes of the disfavored, you proclaimed the edict at once, leaving the enemies no time to react. Stalwart had ample opportunity to surrender for several years. The time for mercy was long gone. Oh, all of a sudden they're kind of cruel. In an attempt to ingratiate themselves with the people of Stalwart, the Scarlet Chorus insisted that warning be sent to the towns and villages so that the people may prepare for the horror about to descend on them. That's really funny because these guys are usually the ones who are kind of cruel and just chaotic, you know. But I agree with the disfavored. Just cast the spell and let them die. The Edict of Storms. You agreed with this favorite rationale. The leaders of Stalwart had refused honorable battle, and too many disfavored lives were lost in the campaign. Since the last regent refused to leave the keep, you would let him watch as his people suffered. Without hesitation or regret, you broke the seal of Kairos' Edict of Storms and read the Overlord's incantation. The clear skies darken as you read the final words of the edict. A flurry of wind and rain whipped through the rolling plains and craggy canyons, turning rocks, uprooted trees, and hapless soldiers into hazardous shrapnel. Armed with a measure of foresight, you were able to remove yourself from the area before the storms grew more violent. Over time, nearby communities told of cyclones consisting of thousands of soldiers' worth of limbs, spears, armor, and skulls. That is crazy. What's more, the weather showed no sign of dissipating. Well, the edict says as long as they're alive, so only when all of them are dead would the edict expire, apparently. Several units of disfavored who fought the enemies in spite of the advancing storm were caught up in the Overlord's magic. The few survivors regrouped and nursed their wounds. Their failure to topple the Stalwart region shamed them into believing the dead more fortunate. The name Stalwart fell from use. People took to calling it the Blade Grave for the remade landscape, festooned with the iron and bronze armaments of two once great legions. Is the name given to what remains a realm of Stalwart after its ruination when Kairos proclaimed the Edict of Storms upon the lands. The magical storms struck the disfavored and unbroken armies during the height of their engagement. Now most of what remains is a blighted landscape of discarded armor and weapons, and high winds of rust and human dust. As Kairos' forces departed, you spared a glance back at the ruin of Stalwart, marveling at your work. You didn't have long to rest before Tunon called you into service once more. So we didn't kill anybody, we just ruined the land, Conquest complete. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. You want to continue or erase your progress and start over? Continue. I'm happy with what I did.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, We have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Fadebinder Chadius Maximus, I presume? We've been expecting you. If this is your first visit to the world of Tyranny, watch for these windows to help you become familiar with the game. You can disable tutorial messages at any time from the game options menu. The ancient Weeping Mother statue pays homage to the Queen Licarius. What? It's been so hot that I turned on the AC. I also turned on the fan here, but now again I'm getting the sniffles. So, first of her name, fresh water once flowed from this statue. How do I get that to show back? To show again. Where's the text? Lore and reactivity tooltip. In many conversations, you will see words and phrases. Yeah, tooltip. These links can help you. Really, I'll stop behind you. Okay, how do I see the text? But when Kairos' forces attacked Vendriel's Well in 1429, statue became weeping blood and has done so ever since. What is this? Oh, is it somebody's arm? It got crushed? Okay. Kairos, the Overlord, be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The disfavored warrior clasped her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion. Okay. I was hoping Tunon would send the Queenslayer. I was hoping that Tunon would send the Queenslayer. If only to see the look on the Oathbreakers' faces when they see you in the flesh again. So this is based on my decision during the conquest. During your service in Vendrian's well in the year 429, commanders on both sides wisely assessed the Vendrian Guard would likely fight to the last man, and doing so give the other realms time to rally or intervene. Ordered to convince the enemy to surrender, you met with the nobles and baited Queen Atlanta, ruler of Apex, to strike you under a blue flag, allowing you to promptly slay her in self-defense. In the wake of her death, the Vendrian Guard promptly surrendered and held to the armistice until the start of 431, when the Guard broke their oath of disarmament. You have game theory with this favorite. Okay. But on a personal note, it is good to see another Harbinger. Barely 10,000 disfavored departed the Northern Empire to conquer the Tiers. And the disfavored in the country today were part of the original muster. While Scarlet Chorus faces come and go, you've seen a lot of the same disfavored over the years. This is Aurora, Stone Shield of the second cohort, veteran of the original Vendrian's Well campaign 2 years prior. You saw battle with her and her team in the infiltration of the Tiers that occurred weeks before the major opening battle at the Gates of Judgment. Those who took part in these daring pre-war raids refer to each other affectionately as Harbingers. By Kairos' will, most of our old invasion forces still lives, but most of us have been scattered across the Tiers, reassigned as needs change. I miss those days when there was so much battle ahead of us, so much glory still to be won. But I know the Archons are expecting you. Don't let me wax nostalgically about the old days. Okay, lore. Can you hear that hum in the air, that glow around the rocks, the avalanche of Kairos' magic? The Overlord has sealed the valley. Skill increase. Once your skills has gone up a rank, you use your skills in the game, they accumulate. One of your skills has gone up the rank, so you use skills in the game, they accumulate experience. When they gain experience, they will increase skill rank. As skill ranks increase, your character will gain experience towards the next level. Okay. No, I can't do that then. Your senses see more than mine, good Fate Binder. I do not pretend to know much about such things, but if that was Kairos' magic and you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Seekers to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plagues, an edict of twisted bones? Should we tell her? I guess we kind of knew her from previous campaign. Yeah, why not? The edict is leveled against us. Her eyes widen with fear. Her posture slackens. But the Scarlet Chorus prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of... She clears her throat with a sigh. Forgive me, it is not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reacts poorly on all of us. Subterfuge. I don't know about that. I don't know about scolding her, you know, but there's truth to that, I suppose, and we get XP, so why not use it? Your first instinct is to blame the Scarlet Chorus. No wonder Kairos resorts to an edict to enforce order. Yes, well, her eyes shift to the side. There has been indeed there has indeed been little goodwill between our armies, and you're right. When we act as we do, what choice do we give our overlord? She takes a deep breath, nodding as she exhales. And you're right, I should not cast blame so freely, especially not when talking to a servant of justice. My apologies. Well, you've traveled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at... Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messages through the mountains to get a help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's see these... Come show these Oathbreakers a good fight. In the honor of Ventrian Guard reneging on the surrender of 429, soldiers in both disfavored and Scarlet Corps now refer to these tiersmen as Oathbreakers. It is perhaps one of the few points of agreement between the disfavored and Scarlet Corps. Look how small the UI is. I think this game has a UI issue when you're playing in 4K. I have to look at the options. Yeah, look at how small everything is, you know. Let's see here. We're already at 125%. Where's the UI though? I need a UI. It doesn't have a UI scaling. See, I mean, that's the problem with the game. But I think since the game is Unity, I think you can change the easily change the resolution, and it doesn't really yeah. We can even change it to 1080 actually, and you can see everything is looking a little softer, but it doesn't really yeah, this is a lot better. Yeah, because it's not true full screen whenever it's Unity. Okay, I gotta...
Right.
Tyranny uses a possible real-time combat system. Because you will manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, resume. The problem with this is so... because it's 1080, I'm playing on a 4K screen, it's just everything looks kind of really soft. Looks, the funny thing is, it doesn't look as smudgy as the PlayStation 5 graphics. Just to tell you how bad the PS5 graphics are. Option menu also contains many choices. Automatic pausing. Okay. Let me see what I can do here. Because it does look pretty awful. Oh, that's worse. We might have to, hold on. Maybe the next one is 1440 though. Yeah, we might have to stick with 1440.
Sorry, can't.
Why can't I use this on him?
Right. Will do. I got it. Right.
I'm gonna check. I think I'm gonna stop here, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna check to see if the game has like any kind of UI mod.
Sorry, can't. The ground is so hard.
Oh, it's right here, isn't it? My character before was Chad Wood. $35. We'll just keep it for now.